episode of 2016. And I do thank everyone for watching. And if you're not watching, I thank you too. I don't think anybody really cares. So, last episode of the season. I usually like to highlight a movie that is like the best movie of the year or whatever. This time I'm just going to go with a favorite of mine that I feel like a lot of people have never seen. And that is Riki-OH, the story of Ricky. Alright, so this movie came out in 1993 and a lot, like, okay, so, you know, while other people are watching like grand movies in the theaters, I grew up in California and we were watching like kind of like chopsaki movies in the theaters just because of where we lived. So one of the movies we saw in this like Asian cinema was this movie called Riki-OH, the story of Ricky. And this movie, by far, was one of those movies that changed my fucking life as, you know, being an Asian dude, I guess. I don't know, growing up with this weird shit. Story of Ricky is actually, Riki-OH is based after an anime from, I don't know, same era, 90s or something. It kind of follows along the lines of the ultra-violent manga, kind of like Fist of the North Star, if you've ever read that. But there's a lot of similarities with Fist of the North Star and Riki-OH. Now, being that this is a Japanese anime, this is a movie that's a Chinese movie that is adapting the Japanese anime. So if you watch the Japanese anime, it's really nothing to do with this particular movie. The movie's about Ricky, and he's in a privatized prison. And in this privatized prison of the future, I think the year of
2001 AD, capitalist countries have privatized all government organizations. Prisons, like parking lots, have become franchised businesses.
Private forces. Anyways, in this particular story, Ricky is a fucking badass, but he doesn't show that he's badass. There's a lot of campy acting. But anyways, there's 4 different wings of this prison, and each of them have a boss, like a boss that holds the north wing, there's a boss that's south wing, and all of them are controlled by the warden. And, you know, it's a pretty basic plot, and it doesn't matter, like, you don't really have to keep track of anyone, but just know that this movie is one of the most violent movies you've ever seen, but in the most comical way. Like, it's not like they're trying to be campy about it. It's just like the technology that they had for these special effects. Just add a, you know, a little bit of like fun to it, even though like the movie's played kind of straight, even though it's really wacky. There's just super violent, just, and it gets to a point to the very end, like how are they gonna out-violent, out-bloody, out-whatever to the previous scene, and they do, with a giant meat grinder and a giant rubber suit. Well, being that it's one of my favorite movies, the privatization of things that is usually government funded. Now, this is a total extreme way of looking at it, but if you take something like anything that was taken over by the government, let's say street parking, and if you take street parking and you privatize it, the prices go skyrocket. Like, so sometimes you need the government to be there for you, but other times, like, just let the free market take care of it. This is a wacky instance where if you privatize prisons, you'll just get something super violent. And in this day and age, everything is just super violent. And that is shit I think about. See you later. I'll probably make another video in 2017. There'll probably be another season. You can watch. I don't care. I just really do these because I'm bored at home watching all these crappy movies. Send me movies. I don't know. Fuck.